Hi, yes, hello, welcome. It is finally time to share with the world the results of my amazing experiment that has never been done before. Today we're testing some myths about guitars. Primarily, what are they made out of and how does that have anything to do with your tone? My name is Johnny, and I'm here to guide you along that sweet, sweet tone path to get you exactly what you want. Today we're going to bust some myths. 1. Does body material have anything to do with tone? 2. Does nut material have anything to do with tone? 3. The brass resonator. Does it have anything to do with tone? I am gonna tell you what, Mr. or Miss. This here video is gonna tell you the truth because I have no horse in this race. I can tell you that right now. I get no money from this whatsoever, except for my own edification. If that's the right use of that word, I don't know. But what I do know is I've controlled a lot of the variables here to make sure that the only things that are different about these guitars are the materials. So I'll show you. This is the first guitar called Old Grayg, and it's the guitar that I did in my previous set of videos, restoring it to its rightful playability. The body is made out of alder, as it turns out. Body's made out of alder. The neck, you can see, has a bit of a flamed mapleness to it. Yes, and the fingerboard, I don't know. It says, everywhere I look on the internet, it says it's rosewood. I think it's too light to be rosewood, but it might just be a lighter rosewood. Otherwise it's laurel, in which case this will be very interesting. So, that's Old Grayg. Like, this is like show and tell for adults and guitarists. Hey, check out my guitars, man. You gotta come over. Alright, so this is Bluey. And Bluey is a PAC 012, not an EG. Its body is made out of agathis. It has the same saddles, same height. We'll get into all the other specifics. Maple neck, rosewood fingerboard, plastic nut. So the only difference between this one and the other one is that this one has an agathis body, the other one has an alder body. This one is a little heavier than the other one. And hardware, we'll get into that, like I said. Now, the interesting and important part of this is the Pacifica 012 DLX, which is really the whole reason why this is going to work out so nicely and so cheaply. And why I had to do it with the Pacificas. Or Yamahas in general. Anyway, so this one has a mahogany body. It has a maple neck, rosewood fingerboard, bone nut up here. Also, brass, this guy, this one right here, brass, supposedly increases sustain. The other two, I guess I didn't show them to you. The other two, look at that flimsy little thing. What is this? I don't know. Pot metal? Something like that? Something cheap and crappy. But does the job. So, they all have the same scale length. The EG112s, the PAC 012s, they're all largely the same. They have the same necks, 22 frets. They all have the same saddle pieces. They all have the same, what am I forgetting? Same scale length, same neck width, same neck shape, same fingerboard radius. They have the same string nut spacing and saddle spacing. And when I set them up, they all have 10 to 52 strings on them from Ernie Ball, and they all have the same setup. So same neck relief, same shim. Actually, one of them doesn't have a shim in it. Let's see if you can tell. So, 3 nearly identical guitars. The only differences about these guitars is their materials. The DLX has the brass resonator in it. The body material, one has mahogany, one has agathis, one has alder. The neck on the EG has flame maple, the other two don't have flame maple, so it's just regular bird's eye. And then the nut. So the nut has is plastic on 2 of them and bone on the other. So, what am I going to do? Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to take the pick guard, this pick guard, which I've very slyly set up so that way it's interchangeable. I'm going to take this pick guard. I'm going to play a riff. I'm going to record it through my interface. I'm going to process it in Reaper. And I'm going to play this riff, and then I'm going to take the pick guard out of this guitar. And then I'm going to go put this pick guard in to the blue guitar. So the blue guitar will then have the DeLong pick guard in it. Pop it in there. Okay? Then that pick guard's going to move to the next one. It's going to go in here. I'm going to play the same riff on all of them. Okay? Then I'm going to move on to the abalone pick guard. I'm going to move that pick guard. Starting with the gray one, going to the DLX. You do that for all the pick guards that I have. I have the DeLong one, I have the abalone one, I have the ivory one. I'm going to throw a stock one in there as well. That's 4 times 3, 12 combinations. What else? That's 12 combinations. I got to do a couple riffs, right? So I'm going to choose a couple riffs. One riff is going to be open chords. Another one's going to be palm muty. Might do a little high string jangle. So listen carefully. See if you can. Like I would almost listen to this with your eyes closed, and see if you can notice the difference between the 3 of them and be like, "Ooh, that's this one. Ooh, that's this one." Or just listen, because it'll go through. You'll be able to hear the differences between the pick guards. I'm pretty sure of that. You'll hear the differences between the pick guards. You will hear the differences between the riffs. But between the guitars, I don't think you'll hear any differences. Any significant, other than my own playing, which I am not a guitar player. I'm pretty okay guitar player. It is not my strong suit, but I'm doing this research so that way I can get to helping my guitar friends, and it's a fun project. So this is for you guitar people. So if you have a guitar friend, send this video to them and let them, have them watch it and get their opinion on it. And if you're here because somebody sent you this link, it's probably because you're a pretentious gear snob. I'm just kidding. It's only because they care. It's only because they care. At the end of this video, so after all of the clips are assembled, which I've assembled all the clips, and it took me forever to assemble all of them because I did way too much, way more than I needed to. But at the end, I'll give you my reactions, and I'll talk a little bit about why some of these materials make sense still. Like, even though they don't influence tone, they still have a valid selling point. And we'll get into that later. So, okay, enjoy the clips, and let me know in the comments down below which one is your favorite. So, combination of guitar and pickguard. So again, the guitars' names are, we got Old Grayg, Bluey, and Royce. Royce is the Sunburst. And then the pickguards are the DeLonge, Abbey for Abalone, and Ivory for the Modern Fishmans, and then stock is the other one. But I don't think anyone's going to prefer the stock humbuckers, you trolls. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy the science. One, maybe the first first most important thing, at the very, very top of the list for this whole video. Biggest takeaway, bombshell, shocker, I'm about to reveal, which is a super hot take as well and very controversial, is that I'm actually not an okay guitar player. I'm a pretty bad guitar player, to the point of being able to barely play the instrument, I would say, in that ballpark. Yeah. And then next to that is, I think pickups probably are 90% of the tone, and then after that's tone wood. But you can't really tell because of how bad I was playing all of those licks and how inconsistent they were. So I'm going to have to do this again. And that's probably the third takeaway, as well, is I need to spend more time with this and get it real crisp. Get all the takes nice and crisp and clean, because that, I think some people will probably say, yeah, they all pretty much sound the same once you had the pick guard. Across the different guitars, they didn't sound too different. But certainly from pick guard to pick guard, like the DeLonge versus the Abalone, heard a big difference there. And when I threw the Fishmans in there, you knew like that one was so different. Yeah, so 48% is your pickups and, other tone controls and electronics. The other 48 is how good you are at playing, and then 2% is tone woods, I would say. Or maybe like the condition of the frets, because that was the other thing I noticed, is that the frets are kind of worn down on Old Grayg and Royce. And Bluey had like really nice frets. They basically looked brand new. And I think that might have something to do with this tone difference. I noticed Bluey at least more than most of the other ones. So yeah, it's not what I expected. I was really expecting, kind of in my heart of hearts, I was kind of rooting a little bit for the mahogany, the brass resonator, the bone nut, and everything else to like be obviously different. Well, more to come. Make sure you stay in tune. Don't forget to tune your guitars. Okay, bye.